Next time she does that, I'm going to strangle her to the point of death.
Not absolutely not!
What's going on, everybody? Today we're gonna dissect a video real quick. Chanel sent me this video. I saw it, so I'm responding to it, and I'm gonna give you my take on the video, and then we're gonna go through it bit by bit, and then we're gonna go through what went wrong, what could have been done better, and point out some really bad things that happened in the video. So y'all stay tuned, and we're about to get into this real quick, and we're gonna show you what's going on.
Talking shit about me, but you think I really care? I've been grinding hard for all this shit, now you wanna compare? Lose or sleep, see results, never quit. Everyone is in it, y'all the money in this music is. Yo, so better run, little sucker. Get on my way. I'm coming for the #1 spot, cause I can make this shit blow up like a gunshot. Gunshot, 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 gunshot.
All right, guys, so dog trainer's training dog, and she gets the dog. I don't know how many sessions she's done with the dog. I'm gonna assume this is the first session because I can hear another trainer in the background talking to the owner about what they're doing with the dog. So if you're explaining to an owner about a specific command that you're trying to do with the dog, it's got to be the first one. It's got to be the first training session, because you wouldn't be doing that on a 4th or 5th training session. You would already have done that by the first one. So what they do is they take this dog and they want to teach her down, right? So first mistake, they have a trainer holding the dog, and the owner is off in a distance recording, and the trainer is trying to give the dog treats, it looks like it. But then she switches to a more pressure type training. She puts her foot on the leash as she stands there, and she waits the dog out, which is the proper method. Eventually the dog gives to the pressure on the leash and she goes all the way down. She simply rewards the dog, or she walks away for a second, then she comes back and she rewards the dog. The dog hops up, she runs up on top of the dog, she snatches the leash and she tries to put the dog back down in a down position. The dog then reacts of the pressure because the dog wasn't taught how to release pressure. What should have happened was, when the dog, initially when she added the pressure with her foot on the leash, when the dog started to give, she should have given the dog a treat. So every time the dog would give to the pressure, she should have rewarded the dog. The dog understanding, if I give, I'm gonna get rewarded. She didn't. She went straight into pressure with no release. She never taught the dog how to relieve pressure. So the second time she did this, the dog was like, not this time, right? And the dog reacted. The dog bit her. She started yelling and screaming, which is a big no-no. You don't do that, because that excitement arousal is going to spark the dog to go further. The second trainer jumps in and he grabs the dogs and he starts choking the dog up. He wants to stop the biting. But while he's doing that, he's screaming too. And then he's choking the dog, and you can see the dog's body wiggling while he's doing this. And he's choking the dog. Now, we're going to go through and watch the video, and then we're going to go step by step what went wrong and what could have been prevented and what could have been done better. And these two guys need to go do some dog training lessons, some basic stuff, because all this could have been prevented. This dog was not aggressive, and this dog would have been easy to teach down with some glory. So let's watch it, and we'll get right back into it.
Like that triggers the dog to get up. So this is more advanced obedience we're trying to get. We're trying to get the dog to stay even when there's motion in the room. This is the start of something.
Yeah, I saw that. You tried biting me.
Next time she tries that, lift her up and go bazonkers on her. Absolutely not.
It's more like mitts.
Yep.
She hasn't ever actually really bit me.
Yep.
That's how she is at home too.
I said
I
stay.
said stay.
It's in front, rewards it. Yes, good stay.
Yes, good stay.
Goes to the
Stay.
other elbow. It's in front. Try to.
Nope.
So she might not get this full walk around today, but we're trying to illustrate it.
Not absolutely not.
Don't do that! You're don't do that! No more! Did you get it?
Yeah, she's like,
Next time, short killer. You're gonna put this dog down if this keeps going. You gotta own it. Next time she does that, I'm gonna strangle her to the point of death. Next time she does that, I'm gonna strangle her to the point of death. Next time she does that, I'm gonna strangle her to the point of death. Or she's gonna fight somebody, and you're gonna have a lawsuit, and you're gonna lose it.
So what do I
So
do?
you have to own this big time.
All right, so let's take a look at it. When she applied pressure on the leash with her foot and the dog started to give, she should have released pressure and gave the dog a treat. This should have been her own session alone. This should have not escalated to a hold down. This would have been teaching the dog, if you wanted to use this method, every time you give to the pressure, that I'm gonna give you a reward. This could have been a session or two. Generally 3, the dog would have learned that immediately. As soon as you apply pressure to the leash towards down, the dog would have went down. But they tried to bypass all that. Or they didn't understand how to do pressure and release and marker, right? So the dog basically reacted to them. Now, I don't know where they are or where they're doing this at, and it seems like they're doing it at the facility. The dog was obviously nervous. The dog was nervous. It's in another facility. A strange person's handling it. A strange person is stepping on the leash. A strange person is yelling at them. This was all bad dog training from the start. You never start off that way. And I'm sure they've got away with it a lot of times. So I think that's the reason why they went for it, because, hey, no one's complaining about it, and here we go. So that's your first mistake. Now, mistake number 2 was the head trainer. So when you as a dog trainer have made a blatant mistake in something or underestimated a dog's aggression or fear or anxiety, you need to own that. As a trainer, you need to own that. You should not ever turn to the owner and say, you need to put down a dog that we initiated to start biting. We did this, we own this. So they should have said, hey, we apologize. We should have just went back to the drawing board. We should have did more treats with pressure and release. We didn't. She reacted really fast. X, Y, Z. They didn't. He even looks at the lady dead in her face when he realized she's recording him and says, hey, next time your dog does this, I'm going to strangle it to the point of death. He admits it on camera. This is how he trains dogs. That's your first primary thing. If a dog trainer tells you that, you don't need to wonder if they're going to do it, because he's going to do it. And then immediately, in a sociopath way, he blames the owner for the dog's behavior that him and his trainer did. So going back to what I originally said, that this all could have been prevented. This dog was not aggressive. You could tell with the dog's body language. Some dogs, when you try to force them to do things, they will react. This wasn't one of those cases. So again, all I'm saying is, if you don't know markers and release and pressure and release and things, there's certain dogs you should not be doing things with. He even stated in the video that they were trying to do advanced obedience with the dog, which was stupid, because if the dog didn't know how to stay, why didn't they have a bed or cot or a placemat for the dog? They just had it on a regular floor trying to teach it some advanced stuff when the dog didn't even know how to stay. They were trying to teach an implied stay. First, you have to teach the dog how to go to a place. Then you teach the dog to stay in that place. And then after the dog understands sit, stay, down, here, come, you can start training the command as implied after every single command. You can't do that in the beginning. You can't in the beginning start teaching an implied command if they don't know the initial command. So that was a mistake. There's just so many mistakes in this thing. It's crazy. So again, you can't apply negative reinforcement on dogs 24/7. Not have a place for them to release the pressure and then get upset when they react to what you're doing to them, okay? If you're working with guardian breed dogs and you're not used to working with these type of dogs, you need to work with a professional. You're gonna get yourself bit, you're gonna get yourself hurt, you're gonna get other people hurt trying to make a buck, okay? Now, you're all over the internet, people are reposting your video because you look terrible and your training looks terrible. So again, guys, let's do better with the dogs. If you don't know what you're doing, don't have people out here recording you, right? And that's all I have to say on that. But that's what happened in the video, Chanel. That was my take on it. They've cut it a lot better. And the dog looks really easy to train. Probably could have taught her down in probably less than 24 hours without any pressure. But that's dog training, and that's what y'all saw in the video. That's my comment on it. Learn how to apply pressure and release it. Learn when to use it. Learn how long to use it, and learn what dog to use it on. So if you don't know that, then you need to stop training dogs, right? So you have to learn how to manipulate dogs and lure them in position. All right, guys, that was my take on the video. I'm about to close this out. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the video. I thought it was pretty disgusting. It could have been done in a better way. You know, when we're out here working with people's dogs, we need to really get to find out about the dog and the owner before we start applying different techniques on them. You know, we should really look that out. So again, I hope that dog trainer learned this lesson. I hope they doing better with dogs right now. And not to down anybody or anybody, the video was sent to me. I dissected it. I gave you my view on it, and that's that. So I'm Madison Bell. Y'all have a good one.